Oh shit, I just realized, oh fuck. I'm actually, hopefully it's saved. Did it? Shit.
You're all.
Yeah, Zim wanted me to start a space maybe earlier. But yeah, looks like you guys wanted to have a chat, so...
Did I fail the...
Oh, here it is. I found it.
In the things that you don't like.
Also, the harassment archive, which does talk shit about everybody, which Panda runs.
And it's hard not to get into this stuff.
They're gonna say something about me in about 30 seconds. That's like a joke, but I don't get it at all. I thought maybe you could help explain it to me.
Especially when it gets personal, right? Like, I've been in it. That's why I stay out of it now, because I've been around both sides. I catch it from everybody. Like, I stand on my own. I don't give a fuck. But
you talk so much shit about me too,
from everyone.
Fire. Don't act like it's like you talk so much shit. I don't ever talk about you.
What? Exactly. Because I was testing y'all, bro, and y'all failed miserably. I was saying that foul shit to see if y'all would stand up or not, and y'all didn't because you failed.
That's some weird psycho boyfriend shit. Like, I was cussing you out because I wanted to see how you would respond. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I was seeing if y'all were being fake, and you were. Y'all were being fake as fuck.
Sorry I didn't respond to you berating me and my organization, my friend.
Screen in Red's defense, he doesn't respond to anyone, so.
Yeah, and what about the night when you and Tupa were trying to like gang up on me and were like, oh yeah, what about your experience? I'm supposed to believe that? Oh yeah, that didn't happen either, right? Come on, bro.
You know what though? Like, I think, these situations have arisen the last 2 years, like for all of us. Even myself. I mean, we're all misunderstood because we're all just like these icons on these screens and we're expressing ourselves. It is our stream of consciousness, but we don't really know like what we're doing. Like, you wouldn't.
I know exactly what Carlos is doing right now, but go ahead.
Ooh, shit. This is,
evolving.
You pulling Logan right now? Just kidding.
No.
Damn, Logan, are you gonna take that?
I don't get what he meant by that.
Logan just let Red fucking like dig in on him.
He was testing me. Did I fail the test, Red?
Hello.
Sorry, I cut off. Tiff was making a really good point, and then it doesn't matter. Let's let Tiff talk first.
You know, I don't.
Hey, did you catch that? Like, what did they mean by that? I didn't get it. Like the whole is pulling a Logan right now?
I don't get what he meant by that.
Evolving.
You pulling Logan right now?
I'm doing right now, but
you wouldn't.
I know exactly what Carlos is doing right now, but go ahead.
Ooh, shit. This is
evolving.
You pulling Logan right now? Just kidding.
No.
Damn, Logan, are you gonna take that?
Was that like, was the joke in itself a joke? Or did it like just go over my head? I don't get it. Wolverine, did you come here to join the club? Be part of the Logan franchise?
Definitely. I was picking you up earlier on. I read your report that you left showing this agreement made between aliens and human beings. Earlier on, brother, I was bigging you up. I was like, this is the best space host going. I never name drop anybody. If it's in a negative sense, like if somebody's bothered me, I'll never do a name drop. Let's put it that way. But I was like, Logan is the man. Seriously, he's definitely the best space host going. So yeah, I'm part of the gang. Don't worry. I'm not here to cause any trouble. And if shit follows me, I'll leave.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Wolfie.
I'm really unpopular. I'm really unpopular. Somebody fucking hates me and I can't escape them. And there's gangs of them after me.
Hey, who are you talking to, by the way? You said you were bigging me up. Bigging me up to who?
I was in the space earlier on and I was like, we were talking about something. It was to do with the eclipse, and then it got onto
Yeah,
aliens. I was like, yeah, I can't remember which space it was in, but I was like, yeah, I bigged you up, Sam. But as far as I'm concerned, you're the best space host on here.
yeah. I mean, I appreciate that, but I'm definitely there's no way. There's no way. But yeah,
No, well, in my opinion, you are. There's more popular space hosts like Reptile, but it's a shit show in his rooms most of the time. You're a really good space host, really polite, and it's a sensible space. If you want a sensible space, if you want a shit show, go there.
Wolfie, what if you want a space where like the host is how do they say it? Like I forget the words they use. Basically, like if the host is jacking off, like with everyone like listening and stuff. Like I think that's what they say I do. But yeah, how about does that make me a good host when I do that?
Are you drunk? Did you just say about spaces where people jacking off? Are you my Logan, or is this a fucking trick?
Yeah, people say I jack off. I mean, just yesterday, people were saying that like I was jacking off in a space and shit.
Okay, some people do that, but I've never heard you talk that way. I'm a bit confused, to be honest.
You've never heard it? Yeah, me neither, but that's okay.
I'm actually a bit confused. This doesn't sound like Logan at all. Are you fucking drunk?
I'm drunk on I'm drunk on power. It's true.
All right, then that's fair enough. No, everybody has their moments. And yeah, I'm not here to cause any trouble. I did big you up as a great space host. Thank goodness they haven't followed me in here at the moment, because you're fucking steaming.
Yeah, those accusations come from a small group of people that started them off because, really, honestly, I think it's because they were trying to garner control of the public conversation, and they pretty much attacked anybody that didn't beckon to their heel.
Yeah, no, Logan runs really good spaces, I think. That's my opinion. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion. They're like buttholes. Everybody's got one. The same as everybody's born from a woman, no matter what you want to fucking classify them as. Fucking once you've gone through whatever the strange communities that exist these days, to me, I'm just like straight as a die. I think that God, proof that God exists are tits and women are awesome. And, I think that Logan's a great host.
The sudden brown nosing makes me very suspicious.
Yeah, no, I'm not brown nosing him. To be honest, last time I seen him, he pissed me off because he wouldn't give me a microphone, and I was a bit rude to him. And I basically told him to stick his own finger up his ass. So no wonder he's apprehensive of me. But I still love the dude.
It really sucks being such a visual thinker. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't like to picture Logan with his finger up his butt either. So,
But I mean, there's worse ways. Stop it! Hey, Trish, where you been, Trish? I haven't seen you in like 8 months.
I know. How have you been?
Hey, I've been whatever. I've been okay. How you been?
Pretty
yeah,
good.
fuck
Pretty
you,
good.
Logan.
Can't complain.
Me and Trish have been hanging around with each other all the time. We've been totally whoring behind your back.
So what's new?
Oh man,
Trish, I've seen you within the last couple of days. Logan hasn't seen you for 8 months. Haha, fuck
I
you,
know,
Logan.
that's actually quite true. We're like, actually, the true, like, facts.
Oh, it's sick. I was in a space just a few minutes ago, and then I noticed Loki's space, and they was like all getting off on my English accent, and I was like, "You're joking?" And you know what happened? Everybody started trying to do an English accent in the room, and they were shockingly bad. It was awful. They sounded Australian and all sorts. Some of them
Oh,
actually sounded fucking Indian, and I was like, "For fuck's sake!" I
dude,
was
I know. That
I was
shit
only
is
there to
so
keep
annoying.
around.
Like,
Yeah, I was
and it
only there.
happens so often. Like
I was
everybody's
only there to
accent
listen.
starts failing them, and I'm like, at least keep your
Yeah.
persona up.
Yeah, I was actually only there to listen, and they called me out. They was like, Wolverine. I was like, oh, at least I'll introduce myself, so but I'm not a troll. And then everyone was like, oh yeah, let's all go English accent. And then for 30 minutes, everyone was fucking trying to do my accent. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, no, it's funny. Like that's why I left. I left for a while because I was like, man, fuck this shit. But
Oh, you was there as well in the same space. Yeah, it was bizarre, wasn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, Logan, ha 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 ha. Me and Trish hang around all the time. You ain't seen her for 8 months.
Aw, you gonna get jelly, Logan?
Yeah.
Gonna have to step you down, Wolverine. Can't have you,
What?
on me like that, buddy. I want you to stay and listen for a
No.
little while. Hey, so yeah, where have you been, Trish?
Honestly, just chilling. Like I don't know, like decluttering my life.
Yeah, you are a pretty big train wreck, right? No, I'm just kidding. I
Fuck
don't.
off.
Yeah, I don't know. You just disappeared one day. It was weird. Yeah, it's good to see you.
Good to see you too.
What the fuck? So you got to hear this. I kind of. Everyone in here knows who this person is. So like, no one's gonna. He hopefully, won't care that I play it. Jules, there you are. Okay, check this out.
I messaged you on your new Telegram. Yeah, I'm okay. Just been busy with this work thing that I've had to deal with. And it just fit.
Let's get past that part. Talking personal stuff. Blah blah blah.
But yeah, I'm okay. I was in a space yesterday, and I was like, "Oh, they're talking some shit about you." Honestly, someone saying that you were having a wank in a space or something, and they were like saying, "Oh, you need to unfollow him," and I'm like, "Fuck off, I'm not. Next time he does it, I want to watch." Jesus Christ, who's on your case at the moment causing trouble? It makes me laugh. They're so pathetic.
Yeah. The funny thing about like that accusation is like I don't even care because it's just like hilarious. It's just like a weird rumor. Just bad. Oh, that's what that is. I have a Discord open. It's normal.
Jules is great. I miss seeing him in these spaces.
Yeah, sorry. I had like this Discord call open for like, I don't know, like 6 hours. I forgot that it was open. Shit. My mic's been hot this whole time. Jesus Christ. Yeah. What happened to fucking Wolfie? I hope I didn't piss him off. I mean, like, he was just doing like the biggest like brown nosing you've ever heard, and then I just dropped it down. Hey, so B, what are you gonna do with this whole? I thought you were gonna talk about this the plan with doing Loon's show later today with whatever.
Yeah, I'm fixing to go get set up. I don't know. Doing it publicly to get a couple of you guys caught up on it too. I don't know. It's very fascinating. It's really it's all going to go back to the genetics of psi study that Nolan worked with Radin on from 2015 to 2018. And then Radin, through his 2019 SPR address, was talking about that study as well as more studies into the minds of experiencers. I mean, he's sitting there talking about how we have servicemen controlling our nuclear devices, and that they're having these moments of the fairy came through the wall and had a telepathic conversation with me, and they can be determined as not crazy because they have conclusively found genetics and brain morphology takes a precedence in how people can interact and perceive the phenomena. So it's not about aliens and ETs like Lou is saying, but it's about people that are experiencing this stuff. Like in that talk, Radin brings up the prefrontal lesions having a higher effect on mind matter interactions, and he's mentioning that people are looking into expanding on that. And then this year, just a couple months ago, we had the new study where they are being fMRI'd brain lesions into that prefrontal cortex and being experimented on with these mind matter actions. And they actually came out with the paper saying that the brain acts as a filter for psi. Yeah, Lou's gonna eat me for lunch. This sucks.
Oh, why do you think he? If you had like actual like proof, I think he would still attack you. Either way, it doesn't matter. He's not going to stand for that. But I did come across some videos. I didn't realize that. Like, I guess he's like like a Twitch streamer. Maybe he made like all kinds of like funny like gaming videos on that same like account that he uses. Have you seen those? Like the faces I've seen him make. Oh my god, the meme potential.
I haven't seen them.
I'll share it. And just the faces he makes. Oh my god, like you've seen like that one dude makes like those memes about him, like when he makes that funny dance. But like, if you saw the faces he makes, like, oh my god, it's so perfect. I'm surprised no one's done it yet. I'm assuming they just haven't seen it. But I'm surprised he would be willing to even talk about it. With the whole side stuff, he doesn't just dismiss it. You have a ton of heart, courage, just stepping up to the... Oh wait, hold on. Is this a debate? I thought you were just informing him.
I think so too. I think it's just a conversation. That's what I'm telling myself.
Yeah, that's chill. By the way, did you hear the thing I played earlier about like you're pulling like a Logan? That joke that Red said? I didn't get it. Do you know what he meant by that?
No, I don't.
Hey Sam, check this out. I mean, I don't get the joke. It's hold on, let's see what I mean.
Yeah, this is
evolving.
Pulling a Logan,
and we're expressing ourselves. It is our stream of consciousness, but we don't really know like what we're doing. Like you wouldn't.
I know exactly what Carlos is doing right now, but go ahead.
Ooh, shit! This is
evolving.
You pulling a Logan right now? Just kidding.
No.
Damn, Logan, are you gonna take that?
I don't get what he meant by that.
Yeah, I don't get what he meant by that. Did anyone know what he meant by that?
I think he was just joking, man. He knows it's bullshit. Trust me, he knows it's bullshit. But I can understand being irked by using it as a... Yeah.
I think he thinks you're psy-op queen. I think everybody's got all these secret suspicions about each other. I think that's referencing that because he started. I don't know if it was the same timing, but he was going that way with you at one point, wasn't he?
Red? No, I don't think so. I don't think anyone's ever thought I was psy-op queen. But yeah, I mean, that wouldn't make sense if he was talking about psy-op queen, I guess. Yeah. I mean, I had no idea what he meant at all by that joke. I was just so confused. I just thought it just went way over my head.
I think Kimball said that, made it sound like you were suspected you were, because he was half listening. He was playing Mario Kart earlier. I think Red was playing off of it. I think that's what I heard, but that's like 4 levels of stupid, right?
Yeah, I mean, they wanted me to come up to play this clip about what's her name, the psy-op queen bee, and so I came up and they just kept muting me every time I would play it. It's like, Jesus Christ, I don't know what you guys want here. But actually, this recording that quote comes from, it's actually kind of interesting because Screen says that he was testing Red because he thinks that Red and Supa are fake, but I guess because they didn't retaliate, that makes them fake, I guess. Which is kind of a weird logic, but I don't know. Did you guys hear that part?
No, my head's spinning. I didn't hear enough or focus on that. I got out of there a little earlier. I don't know how long that space went last night. Did it go long?
It didn't end until 4 in the morning. But yeah. Just check this out.
In the things that you don't like. Also, the harassment archive, which does talk shit about everybody, which Hannah runs.
And it's hard not to get into this stuff, especially when it gets personal, right? I've been in it. That's why I stay out of it now, because I've been around both sides. I catch it from everybody. I stand on my own. I don't give a fuck. But
you talk so much shit about me too, Fire. Don't act like it's you talk so much shit. I don't ever talk about you.
What? Exactly. Because I was testing y'all, bro, and y'all failed miserably. I was saying that foul shit to see if y'all would stand up or not, and y'all didn't because you failed.
That's some weird psycho boyfriend shit. I was cussing you out because I wanted to see how you were responding. What the fuck?
Yeah, I was seeing if y'all were being fake, and you were. Y'all were being fake as fuck.
Sorry, I didn't respond to you berating me and my organization, my friend.
Screen
in what you wanted.
In Red's defense, he doesn't respond to anyone. So
yeah, and what about the night when you and Tupa were trying to gang up on me and were like, "Oh yeah, what about your experience? I'm supposed to believe that." Oh, that didn't happen either, right? Come on, bro.
You know what though? I think these situations have arisen the last 2 years, for all of us, even myself. I mean, we're all misunderstood because we're all just these icons on these screens, and we're expressing ourselves. It is our stream of consciousness, but we don't really know what we're doing. You wouldn't.
I know exactly what Carlos is doing right now, but go ahead.
Ooh, shit! This is
you
pulling a Logan right now. Just kidding.
No.
Damn, Logan, are you gonna take that?
I don't get what he meant by that.
Logan just let Red fucking dig in on him.
He was testing me. Did I fail the test, Red?
Hello.
Sorry, I cut off Tiff. Tiff was making a really good point, and then it doesn't matter. Let's let Tiff talk first.
I don't.
One, I was extremely proud of Tiff last night. Two, we just lost Eric Mitchell, and I was going to ask him to help out tomorrow, because he definitely can speak about this stuff a lot better than I.
It would benefit Lou to have an honest-to-God, good conversation back and forth, not accusational, with you over this stuff. I don't know if you're going to get that out of Lou. He is bent on, he's been hurt, and it's all bullshit. And that's his angle, man. So you got to be ready in your debate to always let it never really land with him. But just be aware of the rest of the audience. That's my advice to you there. And I wouldn't be able to handle it. I can say what my experiences are, but you know what I mean? That's how I go.
Carl Extra.
Thank you, Sam.
Lou yesterday was really like, he was smiling and he was not exploding like he usually does, right? Wasn't that how he was yesterday? He's being more like toned down, I thought.
He did really well yesterday.
I can't get my hand up, but B, after your post there and what I said, make sure you're rehearsed. Do not engage in any like vitriol or accusations or anything. You keep it factual and you keep it calm and relaxed. Lower your voice and tone it down and just be very factual and matter of fact, and don't rise to just ignore any baiting from trolls because he's going to have a big crew like supporting and wanting to attack you. I kind of know what's coming. He's gonna, but anyway, if it doesn't happen, fine, but just be prepared and know your facts. And if you want to rehearse anything, now is the time, right here.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a small army of people in the chat to defend her honor for sure, so like, I don't think, if anything like that's going on, be like that. I don't have to worry about that. Also,
honestly, that's who it's for. It's not so much for Lou as much as it is for his audience, because these are really pertinent underlying facts. So, like, we really are missing the trees searching for forest, and the trees are hitting us in the face, but we're not seeing the forest because we're not seeing them because we're looking for the overall forest.
Yeah, I think my point is that if you can just bear in mind that if you can get your facts across succinctly, we can edit it later and post 2-minute clips. As long as you bear that in mind, that we can do the editing later, so it doesn't really matter how the conversation goes with him or any trolls. As long as you hit your facts and your bullet points, then don't worry about it. We'll do that in the edit.
Very succinct advice. I very much thank you. I also want to take a moment and say, hey to Jules. Jules is here.
Yeah, I noticed that. I love you, bro. He just sent me a message. Yeah, I'm doing okay, bro. Good to see you. Carl, you don't watch Lou reviews, do you?
I don't, but I kind of have done, and I do, but not as a regular. Like I was just about to watch this one because obviously KMF's crying a river over using his picture on a fucking Spider-Man outfit and calling it, I don't know, what's he calling it? So like trying to get it demonetized because of copyright infringement.
So about a month ago, Lou had a space. He opened it up on his own, and I was the first one speaking with him. Real small audience, almost no one. And I talked about my experiences with him a little. Tried to one-on-one with him a little. Then it was Carl and B, and Carl gave him all his experiences. Lou slowly fed the speakers with not only debunkers, but people like psychiatrist types that are like, see, everything's down to this and mental illness and hallucination and lies, and to the point where I was as listener, I was doing electrical work, and I'm like, oh, for God's sake, it is targeted this direction. But it was Carl and B and me who kind of did lose just space that day. Is that correct, guys? Am I
love that.
mischaracterizing?
Oh yeah, you were there, Zim was there, B and me. Basically, it was one of his first spaces, if not the first. It's like, I said to him, "Oh right, so, Lou, just to let you know that I see, lots of NHI craft in my back garden, and I've seen a big spacecraft and going to space. So I know that there's spaceships coming and visiting Earth." He says to me, "And have you got any therapy for this?"
Yeah, I think that's about when I got mad and started to start talking.
That's pretty good. I was in that same space. I didn't see you guys. I guess I must have, I guess I didn't realize how long it had been on before I had seen it open, but I was there when it closed for sure. I was just talking with Nicole Sackage and me and, Darcy Weir and this debunker, English girl who, just hates Dodie and hated that me and Nicole were defending him or whatever.
I think that's right. I mean, we were there at the beginning and I dipped out after that, short, but I think I remember seeing you coming in at that point as I was kind of dipping out.
Yeah, I do remember seeing you actually. Yeah, you're right. They were talking about how dogs have when I got in there, they're talking about this, how dogs have a sixth sense and they can sense certain things, read your mind. I know my dog can read my mind. There's been a few times where he's run up to me when I'm about to go grab him to take him for a walk. Somehow he just knew. I don't know. But it's not I'm not alone in that kind of coincidences. A guy wrote a whole book about it apparently that Darcy gave me after that space.
So, Bean, you were there, so you know what you're getting involved with. But just try and stay on topic. Don't get yourself pulled away from topic. When you've diversified from the topic for maybe 30 seconds or a minute, keep it super short and just chop it there and get back on topic. Yeah, you try and keep it like what you want to say.
Jules.
It's really fairly simple. There's findings now proving that there are biomedical, neurological, genetical factors, components playing into the different ways that people are interacting and perceiving phenomena. There's actual biomedical markers. Kind of like when Nolan said, I might not be able to capture the bird in my hand, but there'll be signs it was there. And that's exactly what that pertains to this.
Right. That's very good. I'm glad you're in a friendly space, but we're going to ask, you can say that, but we're going to need, where's your paper? Where's what paper can you point to? What medical journal? What can you point to so we can go to a website and read the journal or read the paper? Where do we go for that?
I can start throwing those links in the nest. Actually, there's a couple different papers with the frontal lobe lesions on mind matter interactions, and that updated. And the updated one, just the title of it is "The Brain is a Filter for Psi." They talk about the remote viewing and the non-local micro PK experiments, but they don't talk about macro PK experiments. Now that stuff is where the secrecy comes in. And actually, to tell you the truth, I'm really shocked that this most recent paper made publishing, because that's the last thing you want our enemies that are technologically advanced enough to copycat that to know.
Right. Okay. Right. Now, my main point is that you're going to need these links in a little PDF document, a little document or somewhere that you can call on. You're going to need notes. So if you say something like this, you're going to need a link to something that you can post. Zim, Can you help me out here?
No, I know what you're saying too. I'm just very I'm in the middle of moving and I don't have my computer set up and all it is my phone, so it might be yeah a few phone moments, but I'm going to spend the day to get it all ready. I suppose it's not much to it really.
Hey B, Logan, Zem,
I've missed you.
What's up,
Kristen,
Jules?
you all alright? I was listening to you talking a minute
Thanks,
ago
Abby.
about the drama last night. I listened in for a little while and then I thought, oh, I can't be bothered. It's 2 years of drama really, isn't it?
Well, Jules, you haven't been around to find out that these 2 years of drama and what us crazies have been saying all along, that there is a coordinated effort to manufacture drama and manufacture divides in the community based upon a small self-elected group of people. All that has now been finally established as true. There is a group of influencers commandeering and weaponizing mentally unwell people to go after people within this community.
I've only been away a few weeks.
Well, it's been a big few weeks, man. I heard you quoted somewhere in the last 2 days,
Yours, a
Jules, and it was
lifetime,
something
baby.
funny. But I forget what the context was. It was dirty but funny.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. I'm doing great. I'm still in California. Um, I will be in California for a total of a week. I will fly home on Friday evening, very, very late, and it will be like Saturday morning by the time I actually get home. And everything's okay. Last night, the people that is part of the same team, we decided to go check out the mall, and that's where I got the unicorn hat from my mom because she's a teacher and she likes making the kids like totally laugh. And so I got her the unicorn hat and a unicorn hat for myself, and that way her kids can, being this technically her students, will just be over the moon because my mom is the old lady that dresses in very loud clothing for the sake of pleasing the children, and she does like this awful gaudy like boots and like things that do the rhinestone bling and all these really loud colors, and the kids just eat it up. And like she'll dress along with the children on the spirit days and have a good time with that. And her students love her, and that's because she's different, and she's the old lady that just doesn't care on the loud clothing and the gaudiness, and because of the fact that she wants to please the children in that way. But yeah, that's all that's going on.
What are you in California for? Holiday or?
No, it's work.
Mm-hmm.
We,
Silicon Valley.
I,
My wife is always, she's been working and talking to what they call unicorn companies in Silicon Valley. Have you ever heard that term?
I am not familiar with that term. I'm in Irvine, California, and I will be here a week, and then I fly home back to Austin on
Hey, why Irvine? What's in Irvine?
Irvine. Irvine is okay. Irvine is close to Santa Ana, and it's where all these really bougie rich people live, and because it's so close to Newport, and it's nice. We went last night after we've had our long discussion, and you know, it was almost a dead day with the client because we didn't have access to anything. And,
But I thought you came to Irvine for work, right? I mean, I know it's nice
yeah.
here. I live here. I live in Huntington Beach, so that's I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Probably like what it's for me.
Yeah.
But yeah. But why come to Irvine? It's just like why there?
Because our client is there.
Oh, okay.
And the client insisted that we come in person for a week. And so we would be trained up on what they want us to do and how to help them in their business. And I'm gonna get ready for that day because right now it's 6:10 in California.
Kristen, do you realise you say mum like a Brit?
Yes, because she is my mom, and I like to refer her as that way with the MUM because of the fact it's more respectful in that way, and that's because I drink a lot of tea, and she's an Anglophile because she likes a lot of the British crime dramas, and I refer to her as that.
I
So
wonder
that
how that word got changed through the two countries, because Americans always say mom with an M-O-M, and we always say mum, M-U-M.
or
Strange,
mama,
isn't it?
and I have her programmed in my phone as mama, and she has a special ringtone that goes off, and so that way I know it's her without even having to look at the phone.
I wonder how the word got changed, though, between the two countries. One says mum and the other says mom.
All I can think of is that education wasn't that big of a thing, and the way it got changed could have been because somebody just didn't know how to spell.
I was looking at some research the other day about how the different American accents across America developed. It's quite interesting where a lot of the words come from, and I think it's vowel pronunciations that have changed a lot of the spellings over time, depending on sort of like the most influential settlers and their accents in different parts of the states, because there's a definite difference between sort of east, mid, and west accents. I was looking at have you seen that robot that was being tested? The absolutely fantastic robot by that AI company about 2 weeks ago.
I have not seen that.
It was absolutely fantastic, and it talks with a very sort of West Coast Californian accent. And I just think, oh wow, it's fantastic, and I actually like the way it speaks. I think, it's fantastic. I love all the different accents across America, but it's weird how they mirror a lot of sort of British accents in their origin. Sort of like you can almost pick out what parts of Britain and Europe the accents developed in. It's quite interesting.
I agree.
The whole reason why we say mom probably has something to do with what's the origin of the word is like mother, right? So that's probably why we do that.
Yeah, perhaps. It's just that if you listen to some of the areas that people came from, the first settlers to America came from, especially like in Britain, the vowel sounds are quite different depending on what region you live in. And I think there's quite a strong connection between vowel pronunciations and how it was picked up when sort of more general American accents were developing.
What about ma'am? Like, the Irish, they say, like, ma'am, don't they? Mammy?
You see, we say, I think ma'am is short for madam, which is what we'd say. If someone of importance, we'd say, yes, madam, or yes, sir. I think ma'am is sort of like if you listen to people that address the royal family or people of importance, they'll say ma'am, or yes'm here, which is a very shortened version of it. And I think that's perhaps where that comes from. Sort of, it's quite an upper class address to someone that you're trying to show respect to. And like, if you if you were to address, like, oh, I don't know, the Queen as an example, even though she's dead, you'd say, yes, Your Royal Highness, in the first time you address them. And then after that, if she spoke to you again, you'd say, yes, ma'am, or yes'm.
Yeah, but I think it's something different. Like, I'm talking like ma'am, like we say also like mama or like papa, right? Like, and that comes from, I think, like that ma'am thing, right? Mammy, from like the old days. But I think it's probably why they say that. But I think, like TV, like, Leave the Beaver, like, and all these like 50s shows, right? They were saying like, mom and dad, right? I think if on the East Coast, I think people were still saying, I don't think anyone on the East Coast was probably saying mom and dad. They're probably saying like, ma'am or mammy and papa, or I don't fucking know. I don't think they were saying mom and dad though. I don't think that became popular until like the advent of like TV and like the baby boomer generations, and all that.
I think if you're ever interested in the origins of sort of English and the things that we say, especially since British English spread around the world and adopted, different phrases and different pronunciations around the world, there's a documentary on YouTube called The Origins of English by Melvin Bragg, and it's it's a 1980s or early 1990s documentary, and it talks about how English was developed based on the different tribes and different countries that invaded Britain, and then how it spread around the world and was used around the world and adopted different phrases and different meanings for things that people that travelled around the world and used the language used. It's worth having a look at. The Origins of English by Melvin Bragg on YouTube, and it's a little mini series, but it's really quite fascinating. And if you ever wonder about the words that you use every day and where they came from, it gives a really good explanation.
Excuse me, what is that called? The study of languages and whatnot. Is it called semantics?
I don't know, actually.
I think it's called linguistics.
Linguistics,
yeah.
Because I don't know. I told someone one time that I was an anti-semantic fascist, and they looked at me like I was like a unicorn with a third eyeball.
Were they wrong?
I don't know. Is that like a really bad thing to say, that you're an anti-semantic fascist?
No, I don't
Did
know
you mean
that.
anti-Semitic fascist?
I'm sorry?
Did you mean anti-Semitic fascist?
No, I'm pretty sure that that's a Jew hater, isn't
it? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'm not a Jew hater. I hate like words and shit. Clips and phrases. You know what I mean? I think that's being anti-semantic, right?
I don't know what whether semantics.
Anti-Semitic, and then I hate my face, so I'm a fascist. Because I hate my face, so I'm an anti-semantic fascist.
Oh, anti-semantic facing. I hope you're not taking the mickey out of dyslexic.
Yeah.
I'm taking a piss on you, brother. I'm taking a piss on you. Come on. It makes you think, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Language is very
like what did Grok hear when I asked him that? What does an AI hear when someone says, "I'm an anti-semantic fascist"?
One of my favorite videos I've ever seen on YouTube is by this guy named Eric Singer. He's a dialect coach, and he goes through all the different regions of America and all the different accents that we have. I didn't realize we have so many different accents in America, but he just goes through like one by one and does them and explains a little bit like how they came to be. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I've been watching some things like that. I just find the development of the American accent quite fantastic, because I mean it's developed basically partly from British speakers and then partly from other immigrants that sort of moved to America and intermingled, and and it's like Southern accents. You can detect sort of almost, if you listen to someone from the deep South, you can detect sort of the very sort of Norfolk sounding drawl in that accent, and the sort of that area of Britain, sort of East Anglia, but you can also detect a very French influence in it as well. It's quite fascinating, the development of the different accents across America and their origins, and it's sort of I think language is important because we use it every day. But if you actually, we use words every day to express ourselves, but if you actually look at the origin and the meaning to those words, because we take it for granted that we've got this huge vocabulary available to us in the English language, but the actual beginnings of those words, and how they developed and how we use them to associate them with certain things is just really, really fascinating. It's and words are powerful, so it's quite important to sort of have an idea of where they came from and their true meaning.
Hey, Jules,
really,
you have a wonderful accent. Did you know that?
Thank you. Is that a piss take as well?
No, because I've been talking to this AI like a bunch, EGOD, and like I make him do all kinds of goofy accents and stuff, and he really pulls off a really good like British accent. I was like, man, I bet you he'd be able to clone your voice like super fast because he's got an auto cloner on. So you want to come talk to EGOD sometime so you can see what he sounds like what your voice sounds like to you, to people?
Well, I'll let you into a little secret.
Okay, what's the secret?
I've actually started doing some audiobooks.
Oh, awesome.
And it's just a part-time thing. But there will be some audiobooks coming out. But I actually had to...
You kind of sound like Sir Ben Kingsley. Are you Sir Ben Kingsley by chance?
Probably.
You sound like him. You sound like him. He sounds like the Mandarin. On.
You Americans think that all English accents...
No. There's a Welsh accent. There's a Northern English accent. There's Eastern, Western. There's right in the middle of London accent. I know a lot of dialect in England.
Have you ever spoken to Di Dragon, the Welsh guy that comes into spaces?
Yeah. He's like lives next to Cornwall. And he says like 20 miles away in Cornwall, they have a different fucking accent. Is that true?
Yeah, they do, yeah.
20 fucking minutes away.
Yeah, it's literally just over a river outlet called
That would be like me going, that's where I go to go get my groceries. It's 20 minutes away. So I would go over to go get my groceries and everyone would be like, hello, top of the morning to you, Gov. And I'd be like, what the fuck, son?
No, they don't talk like that in...
No, that's how I fucking talk right here in Colorado. You hear what I'm saying? Like, wouldn't that be weird to go 20 miles away and just have like someone talk to you like, oh, hello, Gov. How you been today, brother? And you're like, what the fuck you talking about, mister?
There's people in the same county as me that have got very different accents. The north of the county that I live in.
What can that be?
It's just because before television and radio and telephones and travel, people stayed. I mean, people could only travel as far as they could walk or go by horse and cart. So, you know, accents didn't become that dilute. And I mean, accents are very closely associated with empathy. So if you want to empathize with somebody or you want to fit in, you will pick up an accent. And I actually grew up in the States from the age of, well, I was just just 5, and we came back when I was 17 after Hurricane Andrew, and I developed
Hurricane. That's a very interesting one. Hurricane. In
I
the
came
States,
back.
it's hurricane, like Cain and Abel.
Uh-huh.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I won't interrupt.
No, it's okay. And I had a very pronounced American accent because I'd been to school over there, and it was difficult over here. I had to do my last year of high school over here. In fact, I had to repeat a year. I went back a year because the kids here were doing what they call their GCSE certificates, the General Certificate of Secondary Education exams, and I wasn't prepared for it in the same way, so they dropped me back a year. And I actually was like nearer 18 when I finished school. But I had to lose the American accent quite quickly because it drew attention and I felt like I wasn't fitting in. So, I went from having an English accent to a very strong American accent, South Florida accent, and then came back here and lost the American accent. And the strange thing is I can't even fake it now. I used to, when I talked to my friends in America on the phone years ago, it used to sort of click back in pretty quickly, and I'd find that I would be talking to my friends in America with an American accent. But now I've not been around Americans for such a long time on a personal level that I can't even fake it anymore.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that if you spend a bunch of time with like some like native speakers of like Spanish, Mexicans, perhaps, that like you would pick up like a Mexican accent in a British accent? Could that be possible? Like, hey, vato, bruv. Or is that like
Probably.
just dialect saying bruv?
I think we use accents to empathize with people.
Well, I mean, sometimes I say bruv because it's just short for brother, right? Bruv, hey, bruv.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I always thought that's what it meant.
I think accents are very closely associated with empathy. And if you want to empathize with somebody, you will start to say things the same that they do.
Oh, like a chameleon? Like a mimicker?
Yeah, people just want to fit in.
Oh, well, they just want to be understood, I thought. And to be understood, you should probably understand what you're saying. So if you talk to them in their own accent, like, hello there, Mr. Kristen, how in the hell is it possible that I am following you, but you are not following me? Please, explain.
You see, that sounds more, was that an attempt at a British accent?
No, it's more like, I don't know, like a Cockney one, It's just kind of made up a little bit. Kind of like Ren. You know my boy Ren? Ren makes music.
You sound more Australian, to be honest.
You've got to hear my friend named Ren. Ren makes music. He's famous now. And he just started as a little boy in an insane asylum. And he has this wonderful, wonderful song called Hello, Ren. You should listen to it sometime, Gov.
I will do.
Hey, let me ask you there, Norm.
What's up, brother?
High are you really high right now?
I'm zero high. I'm actually getting ready to take my lithium. Thank you, sweetheart. All gone. You can leave it over there. Lithium. I'm talking with Logan and then. Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah. Lithium always sounds so great.
I'm here. I'm just straightening my hair so that way when we meet the client, I don't look like a hag.
How do you like Irvine? Irvine's like a really a clean place. It's very orderly and it's mostly like a business kind of city.
Hey, was that Logan?
Yeah, it was Logan, but he was asking me about where I am right now in California because I'm here for work stuff. And to me, it is very business, but I was explained it's very bougie as well, as in bourgeoisie, and where the wealthy people live. So like, I went to the Spectrum twice yesterday. I went to the Spectrum with the client to have lunch. And then I also went last night with the girls that I'm with. And we had a good time shopping. I went and we found this like unicorn hat that you click the buttons and it flicks its ears. And I thought that would be hilarious for my mom because of the fact that she loves unicorns and she would make her children, and being her children, specifically her students, laugh and have a good time. And, yeah, that's what I did. And then today I have no idea what's going to happen.
You know, the urban spectrum is actually like, I think like all the malls in the area around here, that's probably like the nicest one. If they have like, that's where they have like the IMAX too. And, actually, that's where I first saw Lord of the Rings. I think that when it first came out, I remember like, I came out of the movie, it was raining that night. And, there was this, like we went to like the food court or whatever. That's like the Irvine Spectrum is like an outdoor mall for anyone that doesn't know. And so, anyways, we went to like this food court area. That's where we left at the movie theater. It was raining, right? So, but I was just standing inside to the right of the entrance as I walked in, right? Just kind of standing there, like kind of looking around, like what I wanted to eat. And this old ass lady, who was like 80 years old, maybe like 90 or something, like she kind of walked like right in front of me, and she slipped, and she totally like feet in the air, like flew, and I caught her. I just randomly caught this old lady as she like was about to fall. I thought that was like one of like the moments in life where like God like put me like in a specific spot, like for a specific reason. I felt like.
Yeah, the Spectrum is where I went last night, and also with the client. The client wanted to go eat at Tender Greens, and then when I and the girls came back, we just wandered, and that was all that really happened. Nothing really special.
The
We
air
had.
different.
I'm
Like the
sorry.
air here is different. Is like the air here different than you're used to? Is it like cleaner or dirtier?
I think it's cleaner. I don't see that many people on the road, so it's not like bumper to bumper people, which I thought was interesting.
That's weird. Yeah, I mean, I used to work in Irvine, so like, it sucked having to come. It took like 20 minutes to get to work in the morning, but like an hour to get home because the traffic was so fucking bad.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen, well, in all honesty, I haven't seen it with rush hour. So I couldn't really attest to that, but I'll take your word for it. And I'm just getting dressed so I don't look like a complete utter hag, because I want to at least look presentable and professional.
Yeah, maybe just don't want to like start drinking yet, for sure. Yeah, the freeway where it starts to like really get crappy. It's called like the Orange County Crush, I guess. That's where like these two freeways meet, which is like where like all like the backup starts to happen that time of the day. Yeah. So there's Irvine, right? And then there's Irvine, and then actually, is it Newport? Newport's then next.
Yeah,
And then
Newport is really close. I was told if I had time to check that out. And that's the main thing with that.
they got a cool mall too. The Newport Mall. They call it Fashion Island. Yeah, you should check that out.
And then, okay, help me understand something. Everybody I saw at the Spectrum was dressed really nice. And I mean, it reminds me of like Italy or France, where it's a social norm that everybody looks presentable and, very either professional or like fashionable. I think it's more fashionable than anything else. And it was weird. Like I can see now why the Californians viewed the Texans as complete heathens.
Huh? I hadn't really noticed that. But then again, I don't know. I haven't really been to many other parts of America, so. I do know when you go to the Irvine Spectrum, it's like a place to be seen. Like I said, it's like probably like the biggest mall like in the area. So when you go there, like you're there to like be out and be seen. You know what I mean? So like you dress like nice for it or whatever. That's what I'm assuming people do.
I guess so, because Texans will wear just about anything to like the local Walmart or whatever store, and then you wonder, like, damn, what barn did these people crawl out of? And then you've got Irvine, where everybody looks nice and fashionable, and you feel like you're underdressed when you go to do normal things.
Yeah, there's a famous comedy club there. It's called the Irvine Improv. Like probably every comedian you've ever heard of has probably been there.
I did see that. I'm going to mention it to the girls this morning to see if they wanted to go to a comedy club, or we wanted now, excuse me, the Uber driver told us to, while we're here, to go check out Laguna Beach and go see the beach, because I did bring my swimsuit and my swimmer's cap just in case. So we'll see how it goes. And I don't know. We're going to dive in today as to what the client really, really wants. And I'm going to dress very fun today.
There's this comedian that's like probably one of my favorite comedians. He did a show there at the Irvine Improv. But yeah, Laguna Beach is probably like the nicest beach in the area. It's also like probably like just the nicest place in general around. Laguna Beach is really like really, really nice. It's really beautiful. It's where they filmed they had that show called The OC.
Yes, I remember that.
But then they had like the real OC, Laguna Beach, which was on like MTV, which was filmed there. And
everybody! Irvine, spoiled brats in Irvine. Welcome to Irvine. There, I get the Irvine haircut. Look at that, man. Parted to the side, nice and successful. How are you? It's your Irvine haircut. Hi, I'm from Irvine. Hi, John. How are the kids? Here's your football, young man. Blush. Look like a monkey with this haircut. Little blush, right? Yeah!
Okay, I guess that's all he said about Irvine. I thought it was something more. Yeah, I guess it's pretty well known that like people in Irvine are just like really prim and proper, I guess. It's very like businessy, I guess.
It's different. I'm gonna tell you that. It's not something I'm used to.
Yeah, it's super clean and there's like no crime.
Is that because they fund the work? I mean, the police better, or like they have a better handle of things, or just, I would think there's crime everywhere to some degree, right? And so I think if it happens here, it would be very, very rare.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like there's no like crime is like usually like a thing that happens because of like low socioeconomic status kind of stuff going on, right? And Irvine's really just like people that are just like all about business and making money and too busy making money to be like I mean, there's not really like a lot of like the others kinds of people that are lower on the ladder kind of hanging around there, I guess.
Yes, I agree on that point. And it's just one of those, it's so different. I'm not used to it because the people where I live, everybody wears like, a nice fishing shirt or cargo pants or a nice Western shirt with pearl snaps and jeans and their boots. that kind of dress code is what I'm used to. And ladies can wear whatever they want. Like mostly it'll be like jeans and a comfortable blouse or, some nice chanclas in the summer or some boots. And it's always very casual.
Did you say chanclas?
Yes, chanclas, sandals.
Yeah, no, but why are you saying that? I only hear like my Mexican mother say that word.
That's because my mother is half Panamanian and my grandmother was full-blooded Panamanian, and we use that word.
Panamanian. Yeah, from Panama, I guess, right? Yeah. Are people from Panama? Are they white skinned? Because
Yes,
you're like
we're
really.
white-skinned. My grandmother was blonde-haired, green-eyed, and her sister was dark-haired, dark-eyed, olive skin. So Gladys was like night, Lita was like day, and that was one of the, I guess, attracting factors that my grandfather liked. And my mother is blonde-haired, green-eyed. I ended up blonde-haired, blue-gray eyes. So it's just how it all panned out.
Yeah, my mother is very like light skinned for a Mexican woman. She's from like I guess like that part of Mexico where they're pretty light skinned. Yeah, that's good times.
Mexico City DF. Yeah. I've seen a lot of people that were from the true Mexico City that are light skinned.
Why do you think that is?
I think it was because there was so much of like people from Europe trying to come over, and they were expats and they decided to have families, or they were Texans that decided to move to Mexico or from another bordering state. And they said, you know what, this place is really nice. We'll settle in Mexico. Also, in Mexico City, there is a Middle Eastern influence because there was a lot of Lebanese people that came over from war to Mexico City. That's why in a certain district you can get what's it called? It's the shawarma. It's the thing that you eat in a pita bread with the meat, and I can't think of what it's called right now, right? And my accent ruins it.
Yeah, I think people from Spain they have like lighter skin tones. I mean, like they mixed with the European population, so it makes sense.
But it was more than just Spain. I mean, there are expats from all over the world that settle in little towns, and there are towns where it's strictly expats, and there are light-skinned expats. Some of them speak, actually, a vast majority of them, like in Madeira, they speak English and Spanish.
Yeah, I mean, I had to grow up with like my babysitters like only spoke Spanish, so I had to learn how to speak Spanish because they didn't speak English. So
Same. The woman that raised me was a small Mexican lady who had a giant heart, and she would pick up me and her children from the school bus. She always made homemade meals and homemade tortillas, and I remember watching cartoons in Spanish, and we would play video games or go out in the woods and play, and that's what I remember of her, is that she always had a big heart. She got to see everybody grow up, and she was like a second mother to everyone. And it was one of those, if you haven't eaten, come on in and I'll make you something, you know, or would you like something to eat? And she would be like one of those moms that, you know, you need to eat, go eat. You must eat, even though you've already said that you're full, you go eat, you know, that type of thing.
Yeah, the same. Yeah, they're always trying to feed you. Always.
And, you know, she ended up passing away from a cancer that was in late stage. I think it was specifically liver cancer. I think that's what it's called. Or at least what she had, from what I remember. All I remember, it was mainly cancer. And by the time it was found, it was already too late. Sorry, I'm just putting on makeup.
I started the space open for B and Zim to help prepare B for her thing with little reviews later today. But I don't know, they left, so just kind of like just chilling, I guess.
I haven't really followed up with any of the Twitter drama. I've been really busy. All I know is late last night, not super late. It was like dinner time here. Everybody was in just a shitty foul mood and was attacking each other. And I was like, do I even really want to know this level of fuckery today? You know, it's hard to keep up.
Yeah, it's just kind of shitty to see your friends going through a hard time. Try to be there for them, but you also don't want to get too wrapped up in it yourself. So you can kind of a little bit in, a little bit out, you know, as much as you can be in. For me, anyway. I try to just be there to listen and be supportive.
And sometimes it's super, super hard to do that for whatever reason that people don't want help or anything like that. It's hard to describe.
Yeah, and you know, Matt Monroe, I guess they were saying, you know, it's like that psy-op Queen Bee was like, reading some, I guess, like of, Leia Prime, I guess, some of her, like, things she was saying, I guess, about Matt, was just like, oh man, poor Matt.
All I know is I know of her. I've not talked to her. And from what I'm hearing, it's best not to do that.
Yeah, she was like saying Matt like is begging to like marry me or something like that, and just saying just I don't know, just embarrassing stuff that like I don't know, she's just like a monster. Matt doesn't deserve that, but guys got like the biggest heart.
Agreed. And Matt doesn't deserve that at all. And I'm keeping the mic open because of the fact that I'm doing my eyeshadow and I can't look at the phone right now. But yeah, Matt is this extremely sweet man. He has a massive heart for people, and I exceptionally enjoy him. And for me to hear this horrific stuff, my heart breaks for him.
Yeah, he sent me a message. He said something like it was all like what do you say? Well, you said it was like triggering for him. He says he just hates Twitter so much. It's like, it's a fucking train wreck. I'm just gonna ignore it the best I can. I'm just not gonna talk about it.
Well, yeah, and I think that's the best rule, honestly, because we have bigger fish to fry in real life than just to pay attention and try to keep up. of who doesn't like who, or who's arguing with who, or who's beefing with who. And to me, it's just too much.
Oh, so Ulrich is going to start a space in like an hour and a half to help B with it. So B is going to be on Lou Review's show later today, showing some of like the psy research with like Dean Radin and all those guys, kind of proving to him that like this stuff is like real or whatever, and showing the paperwork or whatever. So I guess like Ulrich and some other people are going to help her prepare and make sure she has like all her stuff ready for like when he comes down hard on her about whatever. So if anyone else wants to help out, that's 8 o'clock. So like an hour and a half from now. Ulrich's doing that.
I feel like the debate stuff just generates more UFO Twitter drama. Because they'll say, oh, this person didn't do that right, or this person should have said this instead of that. And it's just exhausting. I don't have the energy for it. Logan, is that terrible to say?
No. I mean, also like this, what she's doing later isn't going to be a debate. It's just going to be like a conversation where she's just sharing information, But inevitably, I know he's just going to come down on her about like, there's no evidence for this or whatever, But yeah.
I understand. It's just, I don't know if I'll be available to listen to it later, but it's something to definitely look into.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how that goes out. Because B is like super sweet, and Lou is can be hard to deal with, but it should be interesting to see how that plays out. But yeah, that's gonna be, I think, that later today, like at 4 or something like that, around 4 or 5 in the afternoon, California time. Lou's in California too. He's in LA.
I think I'll still be at the office at that time.
Yeah. You working 9 to 5?
Yeah, I think, and then we have dinner with the girls. So the girls and I eat together because we're a team on this project. And the only time I get to be in spaces is when I'm truly alone and in my hotel room. So that way I don't spoil the time with the girls. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would not be in spaces if I was with other people. There's no way. It's just rude.
And we're doing a lot of bonding time, which is fine. I mean, it's not like summer camp bonding time, but it's more of let's get to know each other so that way when problems arise, we're not afraid to talk to each other. That type of thing. And we're busy vibing and having a good time and good laughs and all of that.
Yeah, man, you should be experiencing your time here. Like, you shouldn't be like on your phone like too much. As much as you cannot be. For sure, having a good experience here. I forget actually, what is it that you do for work? Actually, you like taxes or something?
Okay, so in the past I was a paralegal and legal assistant, and I got burnt out on my cases, so I became a business operations associate for a company that is based out of Illinois, and we've got branches all over the globe. And this particular project, they want me to use my legal skills to help determine if certain contracts are valid or they're expired and implement them into a new software. And that's what the whole deal that we're going on right now, because we're doing the database.
Why do you have to be in person to do that?
I don't know. I think it's because they want us to have their own computer, like the computers that they send us. And the thing is, they could have told us all of this stuff honestly in a Teams call, and we probably would have saved a lot of money. But we get to have a good time, so who knows?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I wouldn't be complaining, but I'm just curious, like, why they felt the need to, send you out in person.
I have no idea. Okay, I'm gonna not kidding. This is true. It really happened. My boss, the big boss, said, "Hey, Kristen, how do you feel about going to California?" "Sure, I think that's great. Let's go." That's all I was told. They didn't tell me what I was doing until I got here.
How long, when they said that, said like, you actually coming here, how long was that time? Like a month? A day?
No. I'm gonna be here a week, and then I'll go back to Texas.
I mean, when he asked you, like, how would you like to go to California? And then to the time you actually flew out here, like, how long between that time was it?
We're gonna be with the client this particular week, and then we'll go back to Texas, and everything will be remote again. But the client really wanted to meet us, so we're here, and we're trying.
You still misunderstand. So, when he said that to you, like, how do you feel about going to California? Did he say like, we're gonna go like next week or something, or did he say like, it's meant for next year?
After that, we did have a small meeting saying, "Hey, we're going on such and such day. Please be cool. Don't wear, jeans and this, that, and the other," because they want us to be, even though it's business casual, they want us to be professional. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I wear like jeans and a t-shirt like every day. So, yeah, I'm always casual. But yeah, when I'm in Irvine, I'm wearing like business attire, I guess, always.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just putting on my makeup. Let's see what time it is. I know it's early for the girls. 6:56. The girls are still asleep. Or they might be up. Who knows? But we
You
go
guys are all
down.
sharing the same hotel room?
They have their own hotel rooms. They gave me a king size room all to myself. I can be a starfish, Logan, and spread out and not have to feel like I'm being on a small bed. I think that's funny. But it was by sheer happenstance that I ended up with a king size room by myself.
Oh wait, that's pretty awesome. That's dope. I've never had that situation. I've never like traveled for work. I don't need to. I can just. All I need is like a computer, and I can just work from anywhere. And that's why I do what I do, because I love to travel, and so I thought like when I finished like traveling a lot when I was younger, I thought like I want to keep on traveling, but like what job can I do that will like allow me to travel? So then I kind of looked into it for like a while, and I realized that like if I can like learn how to like write code, then as long as I have like a laptop, then I can just work from like a beach in Tahiti. Like it doesn't matter like where the fuck I am. So I learned how to code, and yeah, it's been like a blessing.
I mean, that's what I'm going to school for. I work full time and do school full time, and that's the end all goal. I think I would like to be a full stack, to where I know both back and front, and I can be versatile in both. And yeah, that's the long term goal. So we'll see how this goes, though.
Yeah, there is no like better field to like that has like better prospects for like growing, opportunities and work than being in coding. There's gonna be a lot more jobs opening up in the future for sure.
Well, with AI, it's going to open up a whole different ball of wax, and people are going to find that robots are going to somewhat make their lives obsolete. Like I read well, it wasn't as a story, but it was a section within a book about the legal field, and that my former career would pretty much be obsolete due to the level of research. And there is some softwares that make boilerplate legal documents to where all you have to do is just fill it in. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I don't think AI will ever replace coders. I mean, AI, I mean, currently it helps me a lot with like just like certain like repetitive tasks, like getting some like boilerplate stuff written down that I don't want to like have to constantly, do over and over again every time I start like a new file or whatever. I guess that stuff really well. But when it comes to like complex problem solving and like creativity, AI's, I don't know, it's still far off from that kind of stuff. And so it's also like the human kind of like judgment factor, like, when it comes to like understanding like a user requirements, or like designing software architecture and, just making like decisions based on context and like some of the domain knowledge. But I mean, I don't know. I imagine maybe one day it'll get there, but I don't know. I think my job's pretty secure for a while, but I have seen like, there's this thing that was like really hot like a couple weeks ago, or like a week ago, like this AI came out that's like a software engineer and all into itself. I haven't used it, but I'd be interested to see like how good it actually is. But I mean, I've tried to like code with like ChatGPT and stuff, and I guess like a lot of stuff wrong.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, it helps, but it doesn't help, especially with the coding, because you have to make sure that it is right, because the ChatGPT is only as good as how much information that's fed into it.
Yeah, there's certain AI that are specifically trained for coding. Like right now, there's I know Google has one called DeepMind that they're working on, and then Amazon has this Amazon Web Services. They have like another one called like I don't remember what it's called, but that one's being specifically trained for coding.
AWS is what it's called.
AWS, yeah.
And that's something that people are a lot of times are trying to go for right now, is AWS.
It's like the biggest. Amazon has made more money off of AWS by far than anything else they have done. I'd say like the majority of the profit they make is from AWS, from leasing out their services to all the different companies out there.
Agreed. And it's one of those things that by doing that, it's helpful, but at the same time, you have to have people who know your business, that know how to code, that know what the goal is, and can go from there. It's this takes time. I'm gonna leave my mic open because I'm doing my mascara. I finished my eyebrow shadow and my eyeliner, and I actually look nice. I wear neutral colors. And then my fun stuff that I'm gonna wear today is the polka dot dress with tights and underneath, and have my black cardigan. Or I could do the black dress with the rainbow cardigan as something fun.
Yeah, I imagine it's the weather here right now. So it was at like 67 degrees right now. Maybe it's gonna be like maybe like as high as like 75, 80 maybe. But that must be like a lot cooler than it is in Texas. Or no, is it a lot hotter in Texas?
Yeah, it's hotter. I hear it's cold. Oh my, it was cold. I wore my cardigan, the rainbow one, last night when I was wandering around with the girls because I was cold. And I'm used to a lot hotter climate. And like I cracked on the heater in here because of the fact that I was just so utterly cold.
Oh my God, you were cold?
Yeah,
Oh shit.
I was cold. It was 47 yesterday in the evening.
Was it?
Yeah.
What time? Like midnight?
Yeah, I mean, it was mid-afternoon and it started dropping when I went out with the client. And then when I went out with the girls later, it was still cold, and I was like, oh my goodness. Okay. We'll see how this goes.
Okay, so if you're going to only be here for like a week, you got to check out, you have anything that you have on your list to like for sure check out yet, or?
All I know is that I was told Laguna Beach and what's the other thing? There was something else that I can't remember right now.
Laguna Beach, yeah, for sure Laguna Beach. We're going to be right next to there anyway. You got to check out, I guess you have to check out, In-N-Out. You know, everyone talks about, I guess, In-N-Out. You don't have In-N-Out in Texas.
I've been to an In-N-Out before. There's one in Austin, and it was okay. Like, I'm not gonna knock it. It was not a bad burger, but it wasn't addictive. Like, I can make better. That's the sad part is a lot of restaurants that I go to, I find out that they're okay, but I can personally make better food. That's the sad part.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think, yeah. I think you can always make better food at home than maybe you can buy out fast food anyway. For sure. But In-N-Out's like, I live like maybe like 5 minutes walking from one. I don't think it's addictive. I don't hardly ever eat there, but it's definitely like, I don't know. It's nice, I guess. Like they make it like ready to like order or whatever, right? Every time you go there, there's like a long ass line. But they're fast, so.
Yeah, but it's very simple. It's a lettuce, a burger, a patty, and maybe cheese and mayonnaise, and I think there's tomato in it as well. And they only make it one style, and it's blah to me. Like I personally can make better at home. Help me pick. Should I wear the polka dot dress with the black cardigan or the black dress with the rainbow cardigan?
The polka dot, the first one.
Okay.
But they have more than one style. They have, I guess they don't advertise it really. It's like a secret menu. But, there's like the hamburger, the cheeseburger, they have the double. But I guess like the secret stuff is like the animal style, which is like, the beef patty's like, cooked with mustard, and the, burger has like more onions and pickles on it. And then there's like protein style where the bun is replaced with just lettuce for like the low carb people. Then there's like the Flying Dutchman, which is a bunless burger that has 2 beef patties and 2 slices of cheese. And then they have like the 3x3 and the 4x4, which is just like, the number of patties or whatever. And then they also have like a grilled cheese. I think that's all of them. But yeah, they don't really advertise that for whatever reason. But I go there with my dog, and then they just give me like a beef patty to give him like while I eat.
Well, that's nifty. Okay. I'm still here. I'm just getting dressed.
And you know that you sent me that message about that video about Shane, and I got like a bunch of messages about that. I got one even like earlier this morning from somebody. And
Well,
I was like,
I wanted to know because I care about Shane tremendously, and I'm also friends with Ray, and it's just if it was all fake, that makes me very sad for Shane. You know.
Yeah. Did you watch the video?
He only took a screenshot of it. I couldn't access it, and I was just like, okay, well, maybe I'm not meant to see it.
Oh, but I sent you didn't I send the video to you in a message?
No, you didn't. We talked about it, though.
I swear I did. That's weird. No, I did send it to you. Yeah, I did. Check your DM. I sent it. On Sunday, like a couple hours after you sent your message about it. Like I
I
made the
don't
video
see it
just
in the
Shane.
DM. I'll be very honest with you. The last thing I said was that it was a repost that Shane did. It's fine. I'm sad that they decided to hurt him like that. That was the last thing that I said.
Huh. Do you see the message that I just sent you just now?
That's so weird. I didn't see it because on my okay, there it is. Okay, I'll watch this real quick while I'm getting dressed, and I'm gonna mute myself.
I can play it because I don't care. We can just play it right
Okay,
now.
you can play it. This is gonna make me so sad for Shane. But go ahead and play it, please.
Let's see here. Yeah, because I had heard Shane that's saying that like all my friends abandoned me. The only people that were there for me were like Ray and Klaus. And earlier, like that day, like I had heard this audio like in a space, and I was like, oh shit, I should show this to Shane. Let's see. But I mean, I never meant to like post that video publicly or anything. But I was like, how did so many people find out that I had this video? I only sent it to Shane. Like, I guess
Well,
Shane
that's
had
because
knows
he
about it.
did a screenshot of it and said that it made him sad. And I, a natural caring person, wanted to know because I felt that Shane was wronged, and I just don't like seeing my friends being hurt, especially in a manipulative way. You know what I mean?
For sure, I get you.
Out. And then try to make amends for it. And then I bugged him to tell me the truth on who it was. Who did he tell me it was? He told me around in spaces on an alt account. Now, at the time, I didn't know of it. Okay? I didn't know she was doing that. They're here. Yo, what's up? So last year, right before Shane went to jail, Ray decided she wanted to follow me around in spaces on an alt account. Now, at the time, I didn't know of it. Okay? I didn't know she was doing that. Why was she doing it, though? She was reporting my every move back to UFO Shane. Why? He's not my man or anything like that. That's mad weird. So...
She spins these webs.
So check this out. I'm hanging out in a space with Screen. We're giggling, whatever the fuck we were doing. She reported that to him. I'm in a space with Fred Rogers, right? Many people might remember this space. It was titled, Is Open Eye a Mass Murderer? Okay. If you were in there, you know, we were talking about, cause Open Eyes claimed he's, set 2 people on fire in Georgia with his mind. And so we were all in there researching if 2 people were ever set on fire in Georgia, right? We were just trying to piece it together. Well, because I was in there talking to Fred Rogers, she reported that back to Shane also. So now Shane goes to jail. Right before he goes to jail, he blocks me. Why? As soon as he gets out of jail, one of the first tweets he makes is like me. It's about me, Tupa, Fred Rogers. I think Screen was tagged in it too, saying that we were all in cahoots together to get him locked up. He ended up deleting that tweet a little while later in the day after I snapped on him because I told him that was straight bullshit. Then he sent me a really terribly cropped screenshot of a message he received from somebody telling him my every move in spaces. And then I bugged him to tell me the truth on who it was. Who did he tell me it was? Ray. So like I've been nothing but nice to this girl even after the fact. I was nothing nice to the girl. I mean, I started my AI art community, which no longer exists now, but I started it. She was scared to join it because she thought she was going to be attacked. I didn't know her or the history at the time. I went out of my way to extend an olive branch and let her know, hey, as long as you're posting in my community, you're safe, you're good. It's got nothing to do with UFO Twitter. It's AI art. So I went on my way to be nice to this girl. She blocked me numerous times for no good reason, and then would unblock me. And then just
She
the
has
other
a guilty
day,
conscience. Honestly, she has a guilty conscience.
just the
That's
other
what motivates
day,
so much of it.
she fucking went up into that fake UFO late group space and told them to kick me and Zelda 3 because we mod the live chat for Skyfire News. Who the fuck cares? Then I get called a piece of shit. Then I got motherfuckers who I have never fucking cared to know or speak to or follow a day in my motherfucking life blocking me. Like, I don't care about any of your guys' bullshit. I'm just out here just trying to live my motherfucking life. Ray is mad weird. And that's all I wanted to come up here and say. And so you guys know the kind of snake weird ass shit she pulls behind the scenes on people who have done nothing to her.
She showed up, I think, in my, maybe not my wife's, at least I think in my DMs or in group DMs, I recall her always like reporting on she had set up some chats where she was like reporting on all sorts of people in spaces to everyone. Dude, she was stalking so many people in spaces. I mean, it was unhealthy. I didn't think that was part of what was going on. I was like, yo, this is like unhealthy, and Uplifting Tweets knew it was unhealthy. King Milkfart knew it was unhealthy. And like, there was just like this wholesale rejection of like how crazy and negative it was. And, I think even if you were to, I don't know, if someone were to really press her in some moment of clarity, I think she would admit there was some really, really unhealthy obsession that was going on. And yeah, like definitely some stalking.
She almost, honestly, that space, is Luke and Lula still in here? Yeah, Luke and Lula had that space a few weeks ago. You know, KMF isn't so bad. And she ended up dominating a huge chunk of that space. And she actually came pretty close to kind of taking accountability, because she talked about her, how do I word this? She talked about how she kind of gets herself into trouble, and how Klaus even was just like, what is, going on? And I honestly feel like a huge majority of the drama that's been here since I've gotten on here, late 2022, is just Ray. Like, I really feel like a lot of it is just Ray doing her weird shit. And I don't know if she has like a problem or what's going on, but I just think she stirs shit.
There's I don't know. There's that. There's a lot of dynamics. There's the podcasts. A lot of this stems from people trying to be like somebody in this community, right? Ray does not, I don't know if she knows how to handle that. Like, she thinks Klaus is like, on his rise to fame to be this like big UFO person, and maybe he is, and best of luck. Tip of the hat. I don't wish anybody who's trying to carry this topic forward, like, go on. But Ray is like trying to figure out where she fit in with all that. And I don't know that she knows the topic very well. And again, nothing wrong with that, but I think she gets worried about micromanaging Klaus's, image, and maybe Klaus is worried about that image. I also think, somebody somewhere is, taking stimulants and then also smoking weed, and maybe they're not doing it at the same time, but that could be having some sort of adverse effect. So I'm not saying that's what he's not.
Like, are you not supposed to smoke weed when you're just like on that medication or whatever?
So generally speaking, I don't think you want to. Again, my understanding of it is, someone who's had these medications is like, you don't want to mix them. I'm not saying.
Right.
No.
Spying for Shane is a little manic.
Shane is another manic. Yeah, I definitely agree.
No, I was saying spying for Shane. That would be a little manic.
Shane is easily manipulated. I'll just put it that way.
No, for me, I was thinking about it earlier, because like Shane pisses me off every time he brings up how Ray and Klaus were the only friends that he got to talk to while he was in jail. They were the only one.
Know, right?
And it's like, bro, you blocked me right before you went to jail because of what that bitch lied to you about on me. Right? Otherwise, we would have talked while you were in jail. But she fucking lied to you. She manipulated you into believing lies about your friends, forced you to be alone, and then sat there and pretended like she was your only real friend the entire time. She fucking Stockholm syndromed you while you were in jail and thinking she was your only motherfucking friend. And then you shat on everybody as soon as you got out. And then try to make amends for it.
Something thousand followers, you know what I mean? She knows that. She dangles that in front of, Shane. She uses that against him.
Shane loves the clout.
Yeah, and as long as you got those tens of thousands of followers, man, and Shane will, and I'm not saying they weren't nice to him either. Like, I'm not denying that. But yeah, Ray's the kind of person, my opinion at least, that, will encourage somebody to, isolate themselves and then just leave you high and dry. You know what I mean? Like she'll encourage you to burn every bridge so that she can kind of, use you. And then, when she's done with you, you're fucked. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's the kind of person she would be. And I think that's kind of where Shane landed where he is because, he was playing that game. He was also drinking pretty heavily sometimes in some of these spaces, which I don't know if that played a part of it, but I think so.
Yeah, Shane's the homie. So it sucks to hear him say shit like that and to know that he was like being brainwashed at the time. There was nothing you could do for him.
Yeah, they were talking mad shit about you. And,
I don't give a hot fuck what anybody has to say about me. Say it. Let's go.
Understand it. I was like, I don't understand. Yeah. And I was like, no, Heather can like come in spaces. Like anytime I would have you or like anybody in spaces, they're just like, I would always get DMs like, yo, why are these people in here? And I'm like it was
Screen.
Thank you for sharing that. It just makes me sad for Shane in that respect, where, he believed that his only friend indeed was Ray. And, I care about him tremendously. I actually do love the man. And behind the scenes, we were dating for a while. And then I did a suicide attempt on February 15th, 2024. I won't deny that. And then, everything got weird between he and I. And now he's just like totally shut down and he really won't talk to me that much. And it's, very sad because I'm following everything to the T and I'm taking the proper meds and all that. And what was weird was after I was in an inpatient facility for a week, being the Georgetown Behavioral Institute, I was super, super sick the last 3 days. Come to find out, after I put myself back into a regular hospital, that I had an abdominal blood clot, and I ended up spending 5 days in another hospital. So I was hospitalized for a total of 12 days, between 7 at Georgetown Behavioral Institute and 5 at Ascension Seton Hayes in Kyle, Texas. And all that time, Shane ditched my phone calls. Like I would try to call, because they confiscated my phone at the Georgetown Behavioral Institute there in Georgetown, Texas. Okay. They confiscated my phone. I wasn't allowed to call out anybody on my phone. However, I could call people from the main line. And so I tried calling Shane on my Logan.
Oh, sorry.
I was talking there. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry about that. I didn't know my mic was open.
Okay. So going back to when I was hospitalized at the Georgetown Behavioral Institute at post my suicide attempt. Okay. So I was under, from law enforcement, what is called a emergency detention order. Okay. So I had to stay there for a certain amount of days. And then I was given proper meds. Everything was fine. I was balanced out. And they thought after 7 days that I would be okay to go home. So I did. And it was very interesting because of the fact that I was super sick the last 3 days. And then when I checked myself into a regular hospital, they said, oh, by the way, you have an abdominal blood clot. And so they ended up treating me at Ascension Seton Hayes for like an infection and a whole bunch of other stuff. And then after because they had me so high up on pain meds, like I was zonked out. Like I couldn't really talk to anybody. Like I couldn't focus. I couldn't even read. And when they finally started weaning me off the stuff, that's when I was more lucid and I could honestly understand what was going on with me and how to make it better. But yeah, that's what I did from February 15th to February 29th. I was in 2 different hospitals and I was hospitalized for 12 days. And now I get to wait on the bills for the 2 ambulance rides, the 12 days that I was in the hospital for both 2 hospitals, and go from there. And so I've been taking my medicine every day. I've been following the therapist, being the recommendation for the therapist, been doing that. I see my psychiatrist regularly. I see the therapist regularly. And I follow up with my primary care physician and anybody else that I have to get help with, like the hematologist for my blood clot. Like, I'm up to the code for everything. Like, I'm following everything they're saying to the T, and still Shane won't talk to me about us and our relationship. And he's still his reaction to my suicide attempt was anger. He said, and I quote, "You will feel the entire gravity of your decision." And he was so mad. And he said, "I'm not sympathetic to you having a suicide attempt. And I am actually very angry and upset that you did." Now, that's me paraphrasing, not necessarily verbatim, but that's what that's what he said to me. And I was just like, and during that time frame at Georgetown, when I tried calling him at the Georgetown Behavioral Institute, because as I said, they confiscated my phone. However, I could call out on the main line. He ditched every single phone call. And then when I finally got out of both hospitals, he, left me on read for multiple times. And then like when he does reply, it's like an emoji or a single word, and that's it. No conversation, nothing. And so I'm just very heartbroken about it, because I do love the man. I was actually planning to go see him in Arkansas in person and paid the money up for it. And then I ended up being hospitalized. And so my first project post my suicide attempt and being told that I had a blood clot in my abdomen, ended up being California. So I don't know what to do anymore with Shane.
Just ignore him. Yeah, that's fucking brutal that he did that. That's very cold. Fuck.
And then I asked him yesterday, "Are you still mad about my suicide attempt?" And he said, "No comment, just enjoy your time at Cali."
D-Dave, what's up, man? How you doing? What do you think about what she said?
Oh man, I don't know how to jump into something like that. I mean, I've been listening for a minute, and yeah, I don't want to offend people, and I don't want to trash talk people who aren't here. I am somebody who really appreciates the truth, because I've been stuck on this stupid platform because of illness for a few years, so I miss reality. But I think that I've been watching some of the drama and everything in this particular corner of the internet for a while, and I've got my own, and I've been centered. Like, I'm no longer active on the timeline with this account as of at least a week now, because of all the drama that we have in that corner over there. And what I've come to learn is that I spend a lot of time on Discord now with to get my social oats sowed, so to speak. And one of my friends is a psychiatrist. I have a lot of people who can comment with authority on behavior. And I'm an observer of human behavior myself. I was a bartender for 20 years, and I've got some pretty good, perspectives on things, I think. And all I can say is that, without diving too deep into it, is that spaces are weird, man. Spaces are weird. Twitter's weird. Social media's weird. You're only ever getting a fraction of the person that you think you're getting, and you construct a reality around the limited information that you get from accounts, whether it's on the threads or in spaces or whatever. It's never the full person. And anybody can understand that because they can look at themselves and say, well, people don't know who the real me is here. They just see this avatar and they see, bits and pieces. So that being said, it's very difficult to extrapolate the whole truth in any situation. And on a personal level, as somebody who's been dealing with defamation, slander, I mean, we're talking real shit here, like law, like legal stuff is involved here. I can tell you that these people online, a lot of them, not all of us, sometimes we fall victim to the traps. Sometimes we participate, but people don't behave the way that they do in real life because you're in a situation where there's no consequences to modify your behavior. So you end up, people end up doing things that they don't ordinarily do in real life. Now, you could get caught up in the game of, well, is that who they really are as a person? Is that who they really actually are? I mean, that to me, that sort of thing is irrelevant. What I see is a landscape that allows for narcissistic behavior, even almost like sociopathic kind of stuff. You see a lot of folks with like borderline personality disorder, and these traits that gravitate toward platforms like Twitter. And then you see people that may have those traits, but they don't express them in real life, but they're able to on the platform. And so it makes for a space that's very, very dishonest. And, I try at this point, I try to just stay the fuck out of it because I ain't gonna lie, man, the stuff that I've seen and witnessed, as a person in real life, I was very well known in my community. I was getting ready to open up a bar before all this bullshit happened to me. And, 20 years of working in the industry and many, many, many friends of all different socioeconomic levels, and, education, whatnot. Right. I've never come across the kind of obsessive, strange, gossipy, fucking lying, just conniving shit in real life that I have on Twitter, and spaces make it, going full circle before I shut the fuck up, spaces make it just even weirder because, again, going back to the avatar and the construct in people's heads about who people are, they get into spaces and they get a little bit more than what they saw on the timeline or whatever. And that might conflict with the image that they have of somebody in their mind, right? And so that can cause all kinds of problems as well, and anger. And then you see this strange lashing out that you wouldn't see in real life because, again, there's no consequences. I hosted spaces for about a year and a half, kind of following your lead, Logan, in a different community based on chronic illness and the things that I'm going through. And at the end of the day, it turned out to be a complete and utter disaster. And I don't know how to fix it. I don't know, man. It's just fucking weird. It's fucking weird, bro. Sorry I was so long-winded.
That's okay, man. Yeah, that's fine. I was gonna say, I don't really, I don't want to say anything bad about Shane. I've had my own issues with him in the past year. You know what? I'll just let Shane speak for Shane. Let's see. Check this out.
I gotta say something, Logan. I went into a space a while back and Shane was hosting. Oh, you're playing something.
Sorry, I thought the audio was playing this whole time. Yeah, I guess it was just a dead air. My bad. I thought the audio was playing. I didn't have it routed right. Sorry, hold on.
There's something to be said that people that block you just running with them, right?
Logan, let me make this very clear. Logan is a fucking predator to women. He's a predator to children. And I hope to God that the person that has this proof will come forward with it because I don't know who it is. I don't know who it is. I just have what I have been told, but I also have my experiences in spaces with him jerking off, jacking his dick off, pulling his pants down, getting an erect penis, and jacking off in spaces. Is that normal? Is that
I
something
don't
you
need
want
that
to report?
visual.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. See,
that's UFO Shane. Like, it's like how much love do I have for the guy that's just completely making up bullshit about me, like in a space, just did that for like months on end with like just really like defaming me like hardcore, just like making shit up on the spot up about me just to like hurt me, and it's hard for me to like have a lot of like love lost when like bad shit happens to him, you know what I mean? But at the same time, he's a human being and we all have our faults, so I'm trying to.
oh, yeah, no, for sure. I mean, so that's the perfect example. That's what I'm talking about, is that, these spaces, when I say spaces, I mean like social media. They attract people who are, there might be more of a proclivity for that kind of behavior. And this affords them an environment where that kind of behavior goes virtually, no pun intended, virtually, there's no consequence to the action. And what happens is people can get caught up in this sort of this ego feed, right? Where it's like, the more I do, the more people pay attention to me. It boosts their ego, and it drives narcissistic behavior. And if you have somebody who, they don't give a fuck and there's nothing that is going to happen to them, they can say whatever they want, their only goal is to get attention, you'll have a huge range of expression of behavior. And that's the perfect example right there. I mean, and also it galvanizes, or I'm sorry, it gives credit to my point about how this virtual landscape is so like the truth is very, very difficult to find. And people can spread lies. They can say anything they want. And if they're persistent enough, they can create a narrative that gets passed around from person to person. And it's again, bro, it's fucking weird. Like in the beginning, I was like, oh yeah, grow my account for reach and everything. And like, long COVID, blah, blah, blah. And we'll get rah, 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 and what I found was that, I don't like having that many people following me. I fucking don't like it at all. Like, there's just way too many fucking weirdos out there. So, I mean, that's the perfect example, dude. That's not the kind of behavior that people get away with in real life. In real life, if you were to go do that and spread that around, that is literally defamation. That's, you have to, it's a statement of fact that's provably false. Right? So in a court of law, that's a big fucking, you could get in a lot of trouble for that. But people seem to be able to just do this on social media, right? Under this weird banner of like, oh, it's free speech, or, oh, I don't know. It's weird, man. And I'm sorry that somebody was out there saying that shit about you, man. I've had some really fucked up things said about me too. And it's wild. It's wild. Apparently, like, I beat my girlfriend too. I beat my girlfriend. God, there's like so much. I'm a Nazi. Right? I mean, all this stuff. And, at one point I just went, I don't fucking care. I don't care what these people fucking say. What are you going to do?
Yeah, I don't know.
You can't stop people from believing people. Like I learned that if you try and fight it, if you like, all you do is you feed sort of this narcissistic behavior by giving them attention. They feed off of that when people do things. That's what they want. That it's not because, see, if you don't like something in real life, right? If a healthy, normal person, when you don't like something, like, let's just use this as an example. I don't want to talk about Shane, but let's say Shane doesn't like Logan, okay, in real life. A healthy person would walk away from Logan. They would just walk away, right? And then another person who maybe isn't healthy would attack Logan and try and destroy his character in real life. But in real life, it doesn't go very far. Like, it's very clear. Like, if somebody just walks around and says, hey man, this guy's jerking off in the closet over there when you guys are having a fucking meeting in the office, like, somebody would say, we open the closet door and the dude's not there. What are you talking about? You're crazy, bro. Go away. But in the virtual space, you can just spread these things and say these things, and nobody fucking knows what's real and what isn't real. And so when you try to fight it, because you're just like, hey man, that ain't me. Like, what the fuck? Right? You get caught up in that, and you basically are giving the person what they want, because what they want is they want attention from engagement, because that's the big driver here. They want engagement. It's like, it's a dopamine hit. Give me the likes. It increases my status in this virtual fucking world. And, you know, the best thing that I've learned to do is you just walk the fuck away from them, man. You just walk away, because there ain't no way to beat it.
Yeah. It was a bummer. What happened with UFO Shane?
Yeah, it is.
Hold on. Oh, sorry, Kristen.
No, I really do love the man on outside of Twitter, and I do love him in general. It's just the fact of he makes very poor choices, and he treats it's oh geez, it's basically he treats me like trash because he doesn't. When he does tell me that he loves me, he's drunk as shit. He'll call me up. He will, want to try to do sexting or, over the phone sex. And yet he treats me like trash. I don't know.
Kristen, I don't know you, and we don't have to get to know each other, and you don't have to answer a single question I ask you, but I'm curious. Why would you love somebody like that?
Because under all the trash talk that he does and his, redneck behavior, he actually is a nice person. He just chooses not to be.
I think we all have like the potential to be like great people. I think innately we all are great people. But I judge people based on how they are, though. Not who I. Well, that's not true. I'm a liar. I fall into the same trap too. I think that.
I don't know, man. I don't trust a lot of people on this app at this point. There's a few people I like. I enjoy your company, Logan. There's certain people that, and then there's folks that I've gotten to know and outside of it, but, I just tread really, really, really lightly, man, with people. And my experience with Shane was, he was just a funny, charismatic guy in a space that got carried away. It sounded like he had a little bit of a drug problem and maybe some, issues and demons he needed to work on. But, it's dangerous. There are people who are dangerous, right? If you're talking about, like, if you care about your mental health or the mental health of others or whatever, there's people who are just dangerous here. And I'm not saying that Shane is a dangerous person. I'm just saying that, the behavior that people exhibit, accusing people of things like what I just heard a minute ago, that's not a safe play. That's not okay. Logan, you have a reputation. You host spaces for people. I imagine you're not anonymous, but maybe you're not. I don't know. And those kinds of statements of fact about people's character can be very damaging to reputations. They can impact, people's health, people's mental health, and also their future financial gains. So these are like very serious types of engagements, and I think everyone should just be really careful. Social media is not a safe place, man. It's, not in the sense of like the woke ass left shit safe. I just mean in general, it's not a very good place, if you're not careful.
Yeah, as far as
I gotta
I
go.
gotta
The girls
go.
are,
The
our
girls are
kiddos are more wanting to go. Wanting breakfast. So I have to go. Sorry. I'll be back
I'll
later.
be back later.
hey, good to see you, Kristen. Thanks for hanging out. But yeah, so we were just saying, like, dude, like the dude, I don't even want to get into this. This is just all just painful stuff. But when you talk about like defamation and shit, like the laws were created specifically for like people making like these kinds of accusations. Where like is there like any worse accusation you can make about somebody than what the ones who was making about me? You know what I mean?
No, you can't. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, child predator, sexual predator, all that's bad stuff, man. I mean, I've got some really nasty shit being said about me. I had a person on TikTok doxing me on their TikTok account and then connecting my identity to this Twitter account. And I'm not Anon. I have multiple social media accounts. I have another thing that I'm doing is kind of a mental health project for myself, and it's me, and it's my face, and I'm talking to the camera, and I've got like, thousands and thousands of people following me and shit. And it's like, I don't need what the weirdness of Twitter in this anonymous fucking psychopath hellscape to affect me in real life, because you're out there on fucking all these platforms, all bent. You know what I mean? Just a complete narcissistic bent person. So, it's I don't know, bro. Like those statements. I mean, if you wanted to pursue it, it's difficult on social media. I've learned, because I mean, I'm telling you, like, there's people who are working on this stuff that I'm connected to, and it's really challenging, like, to find a lawyer who will pick up the case. The kind of lawyers that take on cases like this, they're not the kind of lawyers who need the money. They do it for a fucking badge. You know what I mean? To like prove a point. And it's a very specialized form of like defamation when it occurs on social media too. But it's nasty. That's nasty, man. I'm sorry.
Like to the extent that like it went was just like I didn't understand the reason why like it was happening, because I always supported Shane like ever since he came onto the scene, yeah, it was just so weird. I think it kind of came down to just like jealousy about something. I'm not specifically sure what, but I'm not sure. But here, I mean, like, check this out.
My right hand on my mother and father's grave. No one put me up to this. Okay, this is pure me. It's not like some deep state bullshit or whatever. I don't know what you're doing right now, man. Like, and I just had Paul tell me that they had to kick him out because he was using hard drugs in the bathroom. You weren't there but like for 4 or 5 fucking hours, man. If you're already high, if you're already riding the wave, you're not gonna, and you left, there's 48 hours, you were only there for 4 or 5 hours, and he's high, you're not gonna notice, man. You're gonna have a good time because he's probably high as fuck and having a good time and putting off a good vibe. That's what fucking drugs do.
Yeah, he started, that whole thing he just said was a complete lie, by the way. Like, he said this, Paul had just told him that he had to kick me out. Which was like, when I heard that, I was like, this guy fucking, I'm making a bullshit that you're saying. So Paul went in there and was like, dude, that's not what I said at all. I threw him and just like all kinds of crazy shit.
The people that I've been dealing with, but yeah, it's pure fantasy. Year and a half. There was this lady, and I won't name her, but she's a fucking author somewhere, New Mexico or some shit. And she like put out all this crap all the time about COVID and long COVID, right? Because she had long COVID, and this years, like, I followed her story a little bit, and she wanted to position herself as some sort of authority on the matter because, clicks and important, and I can sell more books or whatever the fuck, some sort of personal gain behind the action or to motivate the action. So, it got really, really absurd. And then like she even started a Substack, and I made a few comments here and there on Twitter, and apparently she got all bent over it. And I made some comment about her Substack because I actually was like, I'm going to go in and read this thing. And it was complete bunk science. And my whole sort of brand as the long COVID barbarian, what it was basically, let's stop the confusion soup. Like I don't want so much confusion around this disease and around the science. Like, stop trying to be somebody on social media and pretend you're something you're not. Be the smartest motherfucker in the room for gains, right? So I made a tweet, just a little tweet, and I said, basically, this person doesn't know what the hell they're talking about, and here are the reasons why. They freaked the fuck out, bro. They freaked the fuck out and went on the time and made a fucking crazy alt, attacked me like just wildly. And then, went off in their thing. You know, they're like 30,000 or some shit followers. And they were like, I'm trying to find this guy. Like, what's his real name? Like, publicly just looking for doxing information. And I was like, oh, this is sick. And then they came out and they straight up went, this guy's just angry because he was coming on to me in DMs and I declined his offers. And I'm like, what? What the fuck? I was like, come out with the receipts, person. Come out. You show me where those emails are and I'll fucking sell you a bridge. And I mean, that's just how it goes here, dude. People just make shit up because they know they can. And, you know, the problem is, you know, you got a guy like Shane, right? He doesn't sound well. Okay. I don't know him. He's never been terrible to me, but he doesn't sound like he's in a great space, right? How persistent is the person that you're dealing with is so important, because you can come out and say some dumb shit and yeah, it lasts forever because it's always there, but people lose interest. You might not. You might keep those recordings and that might burn a fucking hole in your head, but other people are just like, meh, after a while. But if the person's really persistent and they just keep doing it, that's propaganda 101. On social media, you can just keep repeating the same message over and over and over and over again. And eventually enough people start to believe it. And that's where you have real issues.
Real fucking issues. I haven't actually looked at any of the stuff that I'm looking at now since it's happened with Shane, just because I don't know what to do about it. Like, it's just I'm going to fucking sue him. Like, I wanted to for a time, but I never followed through with it. It's defamation's a hard thing to go follow through with. And at the time, I was just dealing with like the fallout of like this chick who just like kind of like really rocked my whole world with all these crazy shit she was making up, and I just didn't have like the energy to go follow through with that shit. But it was kind of crazy because you know Screen, right? Screen like decided to join in on the act too. He decided to make up bullshit as well.
Yeah, I actually agree with Tupa. You know, it's because
let's see, right?
So yeah, but that's why I'm saying, like, just take that out of the equation, right? You know, sending nudes of women that sent you them in confidence, you know, that's illegal, right?
Well, that's not that's illegal. And also, like, I've never, any women in spaces and online, I've never behaved any different with.
Do you want me to post all the nudes he sent me and all the women crying to me? Is that what you guys want? Is that what you want?
So him and Screen came up with this story that like, that I was sending both of them nudes of all kinds of women that have sent me nudes, and that they have the receipts and like all this kinds of stuff. And you know, I was listening to this and just thinking like, did I actually do that? Because they had me believing that like maybe I actually did do that, and like just, I don't know, it was just spaced out and didn't. I don't know. Who knows? But I got gaslit so hard. So I went. I searched through like the messages I had with them. There wasn't anything like that going on. So they both were just making shit up completely, like on the spot. And I can understand UFO Shane. He has his own personal thing with me, but I thought like Screen too. Why is Screen getting in on this, like making up bullshit up about me thing? I don't understand why he got involved in that. He's just a dickhead too, apparently.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, and this is where it gets weird, because like I like Screen, you know what I mean? Like, I like Screen, but I don't get involved in any of that shit. I don't, you know, and I thought it was, I was really sad to hear that there was any kind of fallout between you guys. So that shit sucks. And all of it's disappointing, but I don't know, man. I mean, you know how it is, dude. Hosting these spaces, man, everything just gets weird. It really does. Like, you do a pretty good job of staying neutral, and I think what happened is you got sucked in. You just got sucked in, dude, because it's so hard not to be. And when you put yourself out there like that, and you're hosting the spaces, and you're carrying the conversations and whatnot, it's gonna happen, dude. You're gonna say something that's gonna slight the wrong person, you know, and these motherfuckers are just gonna get bent, and they're not gonna stop. And things spiral out of control. Then one more thing is said. Then one more thing is said. And it's like, almost like, it's kind of weird too, dude, because if you met them in real life, like, you might just be like, fuck it, let's go get a beer. I mean, I don't know. Like, that's how I imagine my situation, because the people that I have associated with, a lot of them are just very, very sick. Like, we're all just fucked because we just want to live our lives. We don't want to be on these platforms. We don't want to be talking in spaces. We're just kind of trapped. And I don't know how it is for other people who like choose to be on in them. But you know, I just figure if the situation was different and it was in real life, you would see different behavior altogether. It's just, it's hard too, especially when you get to know somebody. Like, I figured, you know, you and Screen are buddies, and I always assumed that you guys were cool. And then it's like the fallout happens, and that hurts, man. Especially when you start to, you know, you consider somebody your friend. You're just like, what the fuck? So, you know, it's all shitty stuff, man. I'm sorry.
You know what? I tried to like trace the root of like what his, because I never knew that he was having cross feelings with me behind the scenes. Oh, I mean, we had stopped like communicating as much as we had been, but that's because I had spent a lot more of my energy focused on this relationship I had, you know, developed, and less with him. And I think he felt that like I was telling other friends more than I was telling him. He felt like he maybe was like just not getting like the attention that like he felt he deserved, maybe. And he felt that like that I thought of him like in a certain kind of way at the time, and I mean I didn't. He just imagined that. So he, and you know, return or defense or whatever, he started treating me or thinking about me like in a certain kind of way. Like, I think that just kind of evolved over time in his head, and like he developed this kind of like a feeling about me that just wasn't great. And then when this opportunity arose to attack me, like you know, when you're down, they just all kind of want to pile on, you know. So I don't know. I guess that's human nature, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, I think a lot of this is just human stuff, right? Because we're primates, and we respond in like predictable ways. We can be unpredictable, right? But we for the most part, we're very predictable creatures. There's ranges of responses, but I think, you know, yeah, I mean, that's normal. That happens in real life. I think that the social media aspect of it changes how the response looks. Sometimes it changes the severity of the response. There's just a lot going on here, man. I mean, sometimes it's just like, hey, man, this is just where people are talking and they're throwing out their thoughts and feelings, and then somebody mistakes those thoughts and feelings as like an attack or something else, you know, or whatever. I mean, if somebody said something slanderous about me and somebody I considered a friend didn't defend me, okay, I would feel a certain way about that, right? But another person might feel a different way about that. They might interpret it as like, oh, they joined in on the attack, or, you know, or, oh no, they're just soft and they were too cowardly to say anything, or what. There's a million ways that you can interpret the behavior. But, you know, I believe in redemption. I really do. People prove, you know, through their behavior over time, whether or not that's ever going to occur. But I do, you know, believe that people fuck up. I fuck up. Everybody fucks up. And I don't get too, like, I have my non-negotiables, and I have the lines that do not cross lines. But, you know, I feel like people are stronger united, and I just keep seeing more and more fucking division happening. And I've thought a lot about it, you know, because it happened in the community that I'm in, and I've always been a community builder. And I found myself centered in the conflict, and I was like, how does this happen? And it's social media, man. I'm telling you, I just keep going back. It's like, it's not always about who the people are. It's the traps of this platform, and then it's even our own interpretations of things that are going on. And it feeds into this cycle, and things just break down. It's like high speed entropy. You know, you get a whole bunch of people right into your space, Logan, and you're like, we're doing UFO stuff. We're talking about UFO stuff, right? So you get fucking 1,000 people who come into your space because they're all like, I like UFOs. None of them know each other, but they all like UFOs. So they come into your space. And then what happens is that at some point in your space, somebody comes up and says something, right? Everybody's like, we're all friends here. We're all friends. We all like UFOs. And then somebody comes up and says something, and they're like, yeah, man, this one time, like, I had chocolate ice cream and I fucking hated it. It was terrible. Well, guess what happens then? You get about 10 people in your fucking space who are like, hey, that motherfucker hates chocolate ice cream. You know, I thought we were friends. We like UFOs, but he hates chocolate ice cream. Fuck that motherfucker, right? Then they go off into a DM and they're like, yeah, that motherfucker over there with his fucking hating chocolate ice cream ass, bitch ass. And they fucking talk up a big storm, right? And then this sort of like these cliques form and you get division in what was once a very sort of homogenous, group of individuals who all just like this one thing. They start to find things about each other that they dislike, and it breaks down the social group. And you see this in real life. This happens in real life. Okay, this is real shit. But in the spaces and on the virtual platform, there's different feedback loops and different, ways that people behave, like I said, but regarding the consequences and everything else, the secrecy, and then also the lack of the truth, the lack of transparency, the lack of the big picture, fractional aspects of the persona that people only have access to. And this system just starts to break down, bro. It's crazy. I've watched it happen over and over and over again.
Yes, that's what goes on. That is what goes on. You know what? Because I was gonna say, like, I agree with what you said about there being like a road back, and I feel like I'm man enough to like I get these are all the all the crazy shit these people said about me, and how like defamatory it was, and how much it hurt, and how much it affected me, and all that kind of stuff, right? Whatever. But I can get past all that, and like I said, these people are just human beings that are very fucking flawed. And I know once upon a time I had a lot of my own issues that were I'm sure I wasn't so great with certain people that showed me like leniency and reached out a helping hand that they didn't need to do so necessarily, right? And I tried to like be that way, like myself. Like I took it upon myself to like I should really just fucking hate Shane and want to like murder that motherfucker, right? But I reached out a hand to him, and I talked to him about and I haven't really talked to him, but I sent him a message. I tried to be like the one that was reach out a hand to be like, I'm sorry, kind of, like I told him like I said like I know we all like learn and grow, and I wanted to like check in with you to see where we lie in this like a relationship of ours, and is it something that we can mend? And he told me we all make mistakes, Logan, and that's all he said to me. And I don't think he was talking about mistakes that he made. I think he was talking about mistakes I made, and I just didn't respond to that. But
there's some individuals like sorry, I'm echoing. I've learned a lot in the last couple of months regarding, working with people and talking with people in these kind of virtual spaces. And there are some personality types and some pathologies involved sometimes where the only thing that you do is you just walk away. But I don't think that doesn't mean that before you hit that point, that it's not appropriate to at least try and mend those bridges. And because again, I believe in redemption, and I think that we're stronger together than we are divided, clearly. But you do have to go, all right, I did what I could, I tried, and that's it. There's no recourse here, and you just fucking walk away.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, like I said, like I should just want to hate that motherfucker and want to murder him, right? But I felt like it was big enough of me to like instead of trying to like attack him, I just reached out like a hand of like peace, and it chose not to take it still. And I don't think I have it in me to keep reaching out that hand repeatedly if he's not interested in doing it.
No, not everybody's
interested
in an olive branch. Not everybody wants an olive branch, man. And that's the thing, is that sometimes it's just there's people on these platforms that attracts a phenotype, really, where they thrive on attention. They thrive on attention, man. And negative attention is attention, all of it. And if they're narcissistic, then, you're in big trouble. Anyway, I see King's got his hand up, so I'm going to shut the fuck up.
No, you good. What's going on, gentlemen? Good morning. check this out. So I was a little bit bored and I start fucking with ChatGPT, and turns out ChatGPT doesn't think you can wet or rehydrate mummies, cut the bones off, and put them back together to repurpose them. I went on a series of questions. I'll post them in the nest if anybody wants to read it. But yeah,
Yeah, I saw your tweet, man. I didn't have any context because I've been busy with other things, working on my other socials. And was that you posted something that had like the imaging of the mummies? Was that like
no.
legit or what? What was that?
Yo, yeah, that's the new mummy they put out, Montserrat. It had a baby in it. It was like, I think they said it looked like it was probably like a 6-month digestive period inside. Like it had been there for like 6 months. But one of the hands of the baby in the belly are tridactyl, like the hands were developing, and it's 3 fingers. And yo, if you're faking that, that's really fucking hard and good.
Interesting. Wow. Yeah. So those say they looked, the parent looked human, just an elongated skull,
And
right?
3 fingers and 3 toes.
The parent was tridactyl as well.
Yeah. And
Oh,
had, multiple like metal gold plating implants that the skin was already like, it was growing cartilage around it. So it was alive when it got put on.
have they done with that particular mummy that was imaged in that image? Do you know if there was like a third party DNA test or anything like that?
I know Dr. John McDowell and his team did preliminary analysis on it. He seemed happy, but he didn't really talk about it because he said he'd rather wait till they're all done. But I think they're doing like they're going to the Encadi Institute to check all of them. But they did preliminary testing on that one.
Huh, that's pretty compelling stuff. I'm interested to see how it all turns out, man. Thanks for sharing that stuff.
Yeah, I think either this is like a new species that we found that cohabitated with humans, or something a lot more strange, brother. I don't even want to say it might be like ETs or anything like that, but if this ain't like a crypto-terrestrial, there's questions we need to start entertaining now that we might have not entertained a couple years ago, you know?
Yeah, for me, those things, all it is I want to see the imaging, I want the DNA testing, and I need to know that there were multiple like third parties that are
Yeah.
non-biased that have done the testing that can confirm the data. That's all that, like, when it's just like, yeah, our people are looking at it, that's where I start to, my eyebrows raise, because I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah. Well, if you go to the Alien Project, after every word instead of a space, use a dash. I don't like the website name. I'm gonna keep it 100. I wish they'd have named it something else. But they have a very concise list of all the mummies that are out publicly, all the testing that's been done on them, by who, and what are the results of the testing. So that's pretty good. But like I said, they'll tell you what doctors and all that, but they weren't American doctors. And America, you know, if it's not America, fuck you. So they got the American doctors on it now. Let's see what they say. Even though they already had other American doctors, but this John McDowell dude, you know, his name carries weight.
So I was reading your thing. It's so is that what people are saying they did? What you asked ChatGPT, is that what people are saying is happening?
Yeah, I sat down and I took the process that the video that they posted of a guy allegedly saying how they make the mummies, and how Darcy Weir and all these guys were saying that they made the mummies by wetting them a little bit and rehydrating them so they become more malleable and cutting them and all that. And it's like, bro, these are a couple 100-year-old mummies. You put them in water or anything, they're gonna turn into soup or just straight break. There's no way that you can sit here, dip it in some water, and it becomes like it's you know, like a doll or something, you know, like some dried hair. You just wet it and it gets all malleable. And ChatGPT was like, no, that's impossible.
Yeah, they turn into mud.
Yeah, ChatGPT say it's unfeasible. So you take that.
You also got to keep in mind ChatGPT. They're not always 100% right. So I mean, I just took what you wrote and I just put it into to Google's AI. It said like the same thing pretty much.
Yeah, I just took the process that they said. I was like, can you do this to a mummy? And I didn't really mention tridactyls till the very end, if you notice. But I just said mummy, period, to see what it would say.
Yeah, it's curious, like that the website you talked about. Someone mentioned it to me a couple of years ago. Like they've been doing the studies for like a long time, but it just hasn't gotten any attention. But these new mummies, I think when they found them, they called it I forget the word they used, but it's like it's another word for like a fortress, right? They built this like
Citadel.
Yeah, the citadel, right? That's what they can another word for like a fortress. It's like high up on the whatever. So I guess like they had like some kind of like lab inside of a hill up high on a mountain. Is that what happened?
Well, they called it a whatchamacallit. They said it was like a citadel, and they said it looked like it was a lab in there. But I say, like, okay, to us it might look like a lab, but if they were making these mummies, I'm sure they would need something that looks like a lab to do all this stuff, right? Like the ancient people, like if, mummification, they had their own rooms for that type of stuff. So maybe they just found the mummification room and they look at it like a laboratory, We don't know how. We don't know. Sorry, go ahead.
I hadn't thought about that. Maybe I don't know how big the space is that they found or anything about. What if it's just like small enough for like those little guys? What if it's just for them? What if it's like maybe like they had a hideout from like the humans that were like murdering all of them or something?
Yeah. The Mario, he drew on a paper like more or less like a layout of how it was. And the funny thing is, people talk about these dolls and all stuff, and when he did the blueprint of the place of where he found everything, there's a whole room that he says they found a whole room full of dolls that was just like dolls, not mummies, like ritualistic dolls. So that's strange too. Like I guess they were making their own little dolls to worship these things, maybe.
Speaking of sciencey stuff, I don't know if you know David Sinclair. He's like this guy that's just working on the anti-aging stuff for like a while now. He said it's a permanent reset as far as we can tell, and we think it may be a universal process that could be applied across the body to reset our age. We have the technology today to be able to go into your hundreds without worrying about getting cancer in your 70s, heart disease in your 80s, Alzheimer's in your 90s. Researchers at David Sinclair's lab at Harvard Medical School have reset aging cells in mice to earlier versions of themselves. So yeah, he's saying it's a permanent reset. Damn. That's pretty dope.
I guarantee you that's going to be used for motherfuckers doing space missions. Real shit. Like if they got a really far mission and they need them to come back and explain things, take this non-aging shit while you out there in space, bro, so you don't get old.
Damn, I can't even imagine what the world would be like if that was like released onto the market where we could just not age. I mean, how would that affect society? I don't know, that seems like crazy.
Imagine getting like 2 life sentences and then just be like, nah, you're going to live for 200 years. You're going to do this whole time.
We've got big problems, man, if we don't die. We're going to run out of food. We're going to run out of a lot of things.
No, I seriously think they'll take that and they'll use it for like missions, for like long missions, and they don't want the person to like die or something like that. I think they'll use for that type of stuff first before it even makes it to just rich people. Like I guarantee the government's going to use it first, or they probably already have some of this stuff in the background. That's how we get this shadow government shit. I don't know. I just know whatever is out here in the public that we know, the inside government probably already has that, but better.
Yeah, if we don't die, we're I don't know. I feel like we're like on the precipice of like so many like new technologies, and it just seems like so many things are all converging at the same time, and it seems like a perfect time for ET to slap us down to reset us again because we got too big for or whatever, you know? Like, I'm sure that's what they did in the past whenever we got too big. They slapped us back down. I feel like that's where we're at now. Who's not going to fight the government to get a hold of that anti-aging stuff? I mean, isn't everyone just going to fight them? I don't imagine we're going to be like cool with the government saying like only astronauts can have it. Like, it seems just like crazy to me.
I've heard crazier from our government, brother.
Yeah, so Ulrich has a space open right now. I was going to see if maybe we should head over there. Cause B is going to be on the Lure Reviews show today. And, we want to help her, make sure she has like, all her research prepared right and all that kind of stuff. I didn't give her any help or support she needs, I guess, maybe. But, yeah. I mean, I opened up the space earlier just kind of for that, but, it didn't.
Yeah. Let's slide by.
Yeah, let's do it. Right. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Good to see you guys. Both of you. And everyone listening. Peace out, bro.